I wanted to talk with y'all today, brothers and sisters, about a very important subject. And it's interesting. One moment, I'm going to write this. Intelligence. So, whenever you talk about intelligence, or you'll also hear the word intellect, if I'm not mistaken, this comes from the word for together. So, this is what I try to help people with. I try to help people learn to gather information. And when it comes to gathering information, the more resources you have at your disposal, the quicker you can get into exact information, precise information. That's actually the meaning behind nice. One of the meanings behind nice is to be precise. There's several other meanings to the word nice. But that's why I encourage people to go and buy tabs. Buy the little tabs in the Walmart or any other store. Because if you look at my books, you'll see that my books have a lot of these little tabs. And what they do is they just have a little sticky part on it, and it's clear, and then you can tab it and you can still see your words. Now, if you're not careful on some of the older books, if you pull those tabs out, it'll actually take the words with it. So if you have a real old book, I wouldn't recommend doing that, because like I have a Greek dictionary, a real old Greek dictionary, and I noticed that when I put tabs in there, the words would come up and still be on the clear part of the tabs, but that's an exception, not the rule. Very few of my books have ever done that. In fact, that might be the only one that's done it. So it should be safe to put tabs on it, but no guarantee. You just find a page that's not important to you and maybe test it out. So get you some tabs and take notes. Take notes in the margin. Take notes in margin. In the margin of the book. That's your special note taking place. In any of your books, circle words. If you don't know the meaning of a word, circle it and define it. Circle it, define it. And don't wait, or you'll never do it. If you have a phone, you can say, and I can't say it or my phone will do it right now, you say OK, and then you say Google. Google. So just say OK, and then Google. So if I say it too fast, it'll pick up and then it'll mess up my video. So, and then you just say define such and such. Define imbibe, or define palatable. And it'll define it for you. And the little artificial intelligence or whatever it is there on Google will also, it'll find it and it'll read it for you. So, tabs, take notes in margin, circle it, define it. Use your table of contents. Table of contents. Use your table of contents. And use your index. Use the index and the glossary. Oftentimes in the back of a book, it'll even have graphs. They're not putting those there just for the fun of it. They're putting there because there's information that helps add to the subject matter that you're reading. So take notes in the margin, circle it, define it, use the table of contents, use the index, the graphs, and the glossary. And a dictionary, that's where you're going to define your words. Get you a dictionary. This is a really good one right here. It's the American Dictionary of the English Language by Noah Webster, 1828. It's a really good dictionary. It shows you etymologies in here as well. But there you go. There's another place you can go to E-T-Y-M, E-T-Y-M online.com. And that gives you etymologies. I'm going to grab a book real fast, excuse me, for going out of the camera. And you get a Strong's Concordance. Don't get this Strong's Concordance. I don't like this one. Get the expanded Strong's Concordance. And this has every word in the Bible laid out in the front. If you can see those little red, yeah, right there, that little diagonal red line, that will actually be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And it has every word in the Bible. And some of the smaller words that would be way too big to outline, there's actually an index right here, because there's so many of those little words, they just actually put them here in this index. But if you were to open to A, it would start with whatever the first word is, maybe Aaron, you know. So let me see. The first word in alphabetical order, it would probably be A, right? But that would be in the index since it's used so many times. There you go. So A, it says C index. And then Aaron, right there. Like I said, get the expanded Strong's. So what you do after that is you look at this little number over here. And since it's the Old Testament mentioning Aaron, you open to the Hebrew. And then you find the word in the back. Because if you notice that black line there, and that black line, let me see. There's a black line there, and that's the Hebrew. And then if you look at the other black line, it's going to be the Greek. But I have so many tabs, I can't even... Oh, it was at the bottom. So it's right there. There's a little black line there, and a black line there. And then, so here's your index. Here's your Hebrew. Here's your Greek. G-R-K right there. So that's going to help you begin to learn some of the Greek. And there's this really awesome book called the Dictionary of Latin and Greek Origins by More and More, and that's just a spectacular book to have. Add that to your collection. It's called, and actually I have a copy, and I'm going to give it away eventually, not right this second, but I'm going to put that one up for free. So use the dictionary, use etymonline.com. This will show you etymologies. Our words have to come from somewhere, right? You'll hear me talk about the snowball effect. And what I mean when I talk about that is that history doesn't go anywhere. History is right here. So if you constructed a timeline and you said this is 10,000 years ago right here, well, this snowball has picked up stuff from 10,000 years ago, and it's rolling down, and then maybe you say this is 5,000 BC, this is 10,000 BC, then you get here, and maybe this is 0, then you get here to where we're at, and this is 2,000, I'll just put 2000 AD. And this is rolling downhill. This has picked up things. Our language is traditional. That's why Chinese speak Chinese. The Indians spoke an Indian language that they had, and then the Roman Catholics came over here, and that's where they began to speak Spanish in South America, because the Roman Catholics subdued them, and they began a Latin-based language, just like Italian and French are both Latin-based. English and German have a kinship there in their language, because they were next door neighbors. They had the old Franks, that was what the French were called, and then they had the Druids, which were the English people way back then, and then you had I can't remember right offhand what the Germans were called. Maybe I'm sorry, I can't remember, but so anyways, my point is that we speak many languages within our language. Like sugar comes from shakar, and an assassin is akin to the word hashish. You can almost hear it, hashash. or like hashish, assassin. It just, the language changes a little bit, like Gog and Magog. Gog is where we get caucus, Gaga. So you can see the connection in the word. And there's many words like that. I mean, half of the English words we use are from Latin. Half of them are from French. Half of them, we have a lot of different language we've picked up from the Indians. I can't remember. I think like Chile might be one. But I mean, there's just so many words we could go on and on about that. My point is to learn etymologies. That's what Etym is. It teaches you etymologies, and that's where word comes from. So we live in the microwave generation, right? We live in the microwave generation, and part of what happened that kind of is I like to use that as an analogy for this, is the sight words. We come from a sight word generation. And the idea is that you can just look at words and learn how to read them. And this has made us very dumb. This has made us a very dumb generation. Just like we're a microwave generation, we're also a sight word generation. And using sight words has made us very dumb. No one cares that half of the words come from Latin. No one cares that half of our words come from Greek. No one cares that, like, the word algebra, algorithm, those are Arabic words. So we speak Arabic too. We speak gloss and issue, the word gloss and the word issue. Some people believe that these are directly from the Hebrew, directly from Hebrew words. So we even speak a little Hebrew. Like when you read it in the Bible, Capernaum, Kapar Kippur, you might have heard of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. All of this stuff has been in that snowball. It hasn't gone anywhere. I find that a great analogy for the fact that Nebuchadnezzar, when he had the dream that Daniel interpreted, saw an image and it was standing up. It's standing up, and I picture that like the timeline, right? Because it's right here. Babylon hasn't gone anywhere. So this will be the image that Nebuchadnezzar had a dream of. Sorry, this is a horrible person. Horrible drawing. But he's standing up. And it says that the head of gold was Babylon. And that's a lion. And he says that the belly and arms were of silver. And that's the bear. So Persia was the bear. Babylon was the lion, the bear. Persia was the bear, and then Greece was the leopard, and then Rome was the beast with iron teeth. And all of these were just an amalgamation, and it was an image standing up. So this guy was standing up, and it said that the belly and legs were of iron, and then were of brass, and then the legs and the feet were iron and clay, or iron mingled with the clay. So it hasn't gone anywhere. Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome, their belief system, the wheel of the year we talk about, it's all still here. Samhain, Ostara, Lagmas, and all of these different Candlemas, if you boil it down to America and the things that they sell here, it's like I've said a million times: St. Valentine, Cupid, St. Patrick, Leprechaun, St. Nicholas. Coca-Cola turned a little green elf into a big fat jolly man who says ho ho ho, and then they introduce these reindeer, and Woden. Wednesday means Woden, Monday means Moon Day, Sunday means Sunday, Tuesday is Tuesco Day, or Day, or like Mardi Gras. It's the, you can see the same word there. It's Mars Day. Wednesday is Woden's Day or Mercury Day. Mercury die. That's French. So Mardi is the day of Mars, and then Lundi is the day of the moon. We call it Moon Day, right? And then they have, I think, maybe like Soldi. I can't remember exactly, but that would be the day of the sun. And Venue Day, which is the day of Venus, Friday. Freya was their goddess. And that's what all of our days and all of our months are named after. January, Janus, the god Janus. February was some kind of festival to one of their gods. And then March, Mars. April is one of the feasts. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. There you go. It's all about Roman god worship. Industry is about mercantilism, merchants, and that has Ham or Hermes. And the Egyptian way of saying ham, like the ham, not ham as in ham, like a pig. Ham as in Noah's son, Ham, is the same as the Egyptian her. And when you put "mes" on the end of the word, it means to be drawn forth. And so her was a way of saying the sun, and Ham, and they worshiped the sun god under the auspices of this word. I think auspices is the right word. I don't know. I gotta define stuff too. So "mes" means to be drawn from the sun. And isn't that what they believe about these different star children? The Zoroaster, or Tammuz being Nimrod's son from Semiramis. And that's what it talks about in Ezekiel chapter 8, right? Like, God is taking Ezekiel on a tour through the temple of all the abominations. And the temple is a picture of our body. And that's why our body's filled with consumption and lust and longing for that which is forbidden and breathing hard after the wrong things. Few people hunger and thirst after righteousness, and that's incredibly hard in this mercantile, capitalist, city-dweller world we live in, where they have a scratching and biting and scraping just to get a few pennies to try to put bread on the table, right? So Ham, her, and even Cush, and Cush begot Nimrod. And Nimrod means the spotted one. The scripture says there's spots on the love feast. And that's the Diotrephes, the ones who want to have the preeminence. Proto. Like we have a prototype, and it means a first type. Well, this would be, in nature, like the word ark, which means a first or a beginning. And it would also be like Kratos. Like when we say a matriarch or a patriarch, a mother ruler, or a patriarch, a father ruler. And then Kratos would be, as in the word aristocrat, or a democrat, Kratos. And proto, we have prototype, and it means first. And in nature, these would also be related to the word Elohim. Elohim is plural for the word strength, so it means plural and strength. The pluralis majestatis is the Latin word to say that. It means plural in majesty, not plural in number. They took that word and they corrupted it because they started believing in a doctrine that was created in 100 AD by a man named Theophilus, not the one of Luke chapter 1 and Acts chapter 1. And his disciple named Tertullian developed it, and they called it the doctrine of the Trinity. Will you point in the Bible where the word Trinity is mentioned, it ain't there. No one was dying for saying that. People were dying for taking a stand that Jesus Christ was Kyrios and Lord, and that means Caesar wasn't. That's why they were killing Christians. That's why the Christians went under persecution. And that's all, almost any history book you can pick up that's talking about the Christians' beginnings to now will tell you that the reason they were killing Christians is they were saying Jesus Christ was Lord. That's it. Go out into the world and start telling these people, like, I don't know about these weird, diverse, strange doctrines, and you're acting like you're tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine, because Jesus Christ is Lord. That's real simple. It's real simple. That's easy. That you can't even get that confused. That's so simple. You say, hey, Jesus Christ, Emmanuel, God with us, Yahweh incarnate, and now he says that he works through us, and he'll follow us doing signs and wonders. And like it says in Daniel, we'll have little victories. We'll have little, he'll strengthen us. A lot of people will be corrupted by flatteries and all of that. And even some will be raised up, and you won't think that they're wicked, and then they'll be corrupted by flatteries. So it's going to make us stronger, the believers stronger. So what we need to do is we need to develop a strong filter for language, because you need to know what people are trying to say. And once you begin to develop these patterns in language, these patterns, and to decrypt language, it's making my hair stand up. I get the chills when I talk about this because it's incredible. 5 or 6 years ago, y'all would not have known this person who's standing in front of you, because I wasn't very smart. I still don't consider myself smart. But my point is just the way that you can do it if you try. You can. It's like that dumb movie, The Waterboy. You can do it. But you can. You really can. If you just start becoming interested in these things and studying them, you can really pick up and strengthen your understanding of books. And that's why I wanted to share this with y'all. And like the Hebrew and Greek alphabet, that'll help you to learn it. And if you learn that, you'll have a lot easier time referencing it, and you won't be so dependent on the way that the Strong's Concordance is structured, where you have to look up the English word, then look up the Hebrew and Greek word. You can actually begin to learn how to reference some of the words on your own. For example, if you see a word in a dictionary and you suspect that might be in the Bible, you can go to your Strong's Concordance, and then you can look up that word directly if you've memorized the alphabet. So, in English we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So, I'm not singing the last part. So, the Greek alphabet, is alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. And then the Hebrew alphabet is the Hebrew alphabet is Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Sadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, and Sin, right? So if you go to Psalm 119, there's a free Hebrew lesson. Psalm 119. But there's also a song. I was actually using the song just in memory, but it goes Aleph, Bet, Vet, and then they repeat it. Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Fe, Zari, kufresh, shin, sin, ta. So you can remember these things and it'll be helpful. You can learn to recognize different letters and different associations, and if you don't feel like you have the patience doing that, there's different places you can resource. So I'm going to put a lot of resources in the description down below. So make sure y'all check those out, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope this helps, and I hope it helps you develop an interest for language. Alright, take it easy. Bye.